You know what they call this? Pokemon. But we not poking no man.
Much music was going on. I'm joined by Shaggy. You know, a lot of AKAs, but we're gonna go Mr. Bombastic, Romantic Fan. We're gonna leave it there, right?
Yeah, man, there's a lot of AKAs. I'm thinking about it now. Yeah, Mr. Lover, Bombastic, Romantic. Well, you know the rest.
You know the rest, man. You know the rest.
You know the rest. You see it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, my name is Teddy. Honor again, like I told
Thank
you,
you,
man.
man.
This just feels so full circle for me. Welcome again to Much Music.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for having me, man. Much Music is like home. You know, just from the beginning of my career, I've been coming to Much Music and promoting my music through Much Music. And, you know, even back from, like I mentioned back in the days from Master T when he was around. And, you know, when they used to open up those windows and all the kids were there, it was just a vibe.
Yeah.
And to see that you guys are still rocking and still being a part of popular culture is wonderful.
And honestly, like, when we get to run that back and bring that live audience, because I know exactly what you're saying, would you be there for it? We need you. We need you. Can we get a co-sign when we have that?
Anytime, man. It's you to be in front of the masses like that is always great.
Yes.
I mean, we do that for that, you know, that reaction and that connection.
Okay, yeah, well, Shaggy, man, this is a deep question for me. You ready?
All right.
How does it feel to be responsible for a lot of us being born, man? You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't me, man. Stop.
It wasn't me.
No, my vision's blurry now. I wasn't expecting that response. No, but for real, man, you really had, you know, that love.
You know the craziest thing. There was a fan that came up to me, and she introduced me to her kid, and the kid was like Michael Bombastic Williams something or another.
What?
But in his name had Bombastic. I was like, wow, that's.
What?
And she was like, yeah, we're on vacation, me and my husband, and he was conceived because we used to make love to Mr. Bombastic all the time. I was like, yo. I was like, now this kid got to walk around with a middle name called Bombastic. And then explain that.
Is that probably the wildest story with your catchphrase?
There's a lot of, you know, wild stories.
Your catchphrase, Mr.
I think the craziest thing is a guy came up to me and introduced me to his wife, and she was pregnant, and then he looks and said, hey, it wasn't me, and pointed at her belly. I said, me neither.
It wasn't me.
No, man, because you have these iconic catchphrases that carried beyond time, man. You know what I mean?
It goes back as far as Big Up, when we did Big Up the first time, and I said, if a big up, big up.
Big up, big up.
And it was such a big hit, then everybody, y'all, big up. Big up this one, big up that. Then, you know, every now they say shout out. You know, yo, shout out to Much Music. Shout it back there and say, yo, big up Much Music.
Yeah.
I'm big up. Everything was a big up. You know what I mean? And that was the catchphrase at the time, because that record just kind of opened up the catchphrase. And then we had Bombastic, which the catchphrase wasn't Bombastic. It was Mr. Lover Lover. Hey, I'm Lover Lover. Yo, Lover Lover.
Mr. Lover Lover. Now Mr. Lover Lover. Girl. Mr. Lover.
For some reason, it's just boiled down to the craft of songwriting and really coming up with these, you know, what becomes catchphrases, but it really was just what you want to do as hooks to grab people.
Right.
You know what I mean? It wasn't me, it's the same thing. You know, it's having these iconic catchphrases that will go beyond decades, you know, and really live.
Oh, so what's the next one, fam?
Hopefully it's Move.
Yep.
Make your body move. Your sexy body move.
Shaggy, man, hey, you are the second artist to perform at the Sobeys Stadium.
So I'm told, yeah. It's a new venue.
Yeah, and you got a little tour?
I did have a little
Okay, so
tour.
what section are we pulling up to? Like, are you, you're a crowd pleaser for sure.
You know,
I seen you bubbling on TikTok, fam. My
yeah,
bad.
see it.
Yeah, I see
That's for real.
Shout out to Laugh for that one. You know what is? I was on stage. What's so good about this venue is that no matter where on stage, nobody really has a bad seat.
Right.
You know, and just looking at the audience and how the seating is, no one really has a bad seat. And I think that's fantastic just to look at it and see that. I was like, wow, that's great. Yeah.
No.
So
how
I
do
like
you?
that.
So how do you know when you have a hit? Like, what's that moment in your body?
You really
Something
don't
happened?
know. You really don't know when you have a hit. You know when you create something special. Like I know that Mr. Bombastic was a special record. It's convincing everybody else it was a special record. That's the problem, because sometimes something special might be a little bit out the box. You know, people like to cookie cut. You know what I mean? So if something sounds like that, they want you to make something like that that fits on the radio and say, wow, that's a smash. And that's how they hear a hit based on what's already a hit.
Right.
You know, a real true A&R is the person who can hear something that is not cookie cut to what is there already, and say, wow, this is something special. You know, that's why I always, there's a lot of people who are great record people, you know, but this is why I love Chris Blackwell, because here's a guy that in Island Records is probably one of the only roster that is really get hits that are out the box. Like, you know, if you listen, Clive Davis there's a certain style of music that really hit for Clive Davis. Jimmy Iovine, a certain style of music that hit for him. It's always hip hop.
Right.
You know, you really did, like Jimmy really didn't have any big R&B artists.
Right.
But a lot of big hip hop and rock artists. You know what I mean? So they fall in little genres. But with Chris, it was all over the place.
Yeah.
Like Chris did. Who could see somebody like a Grace Jones happening?
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you look at Doja Cat, Rihanna, Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, that's Grace Jones.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? So
Right,
from when
right,
that
right.
started, and nobody could have seen this little skinny Jamaican girl and said, okay, this is the vision of making her an icon. You know what I mean? Or seen a folk band in Ireland and said, okay, we're going to turn you guys into U2. Or seen a Rastafarian guy in Jamaica singing and say, you're going to be Bob Marley.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes a person, because when you listen to radio, nothing on radio was playing any of those music. Like when I came out doing Boombastic, or It Wasn't Me, or any of these records, or Carolina, radio was not playing dancehall.
Got you.
To this day, you know, you could look at iHeart Music as one of the biggest radio stations in the world with over 900 stations. How many of them are reggae?
Yeah, right.
Zero.
Zero.
You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, how do you place reggae and dancehall in a position where it, you know, and how do you get entities to invest money behind an artist that's in that genre? It really comes organically from the streets.
Right.
And you have to make these records. So, you know, it's really having that ear to say, okay, I'm going to have something that is special. You can't predict the hit. I don't think anybody could predict the hit. They could just say, okay, I think this will work, or there's a lane for this. Nobody's doing this, so there's an open lane for this. And then you try to connect the dot by promoting the hell out of it.
For real. And you've been doing such a great job, man, transcending throughout all the literally, like the way that you even promote now as an artist has changed, like we talked about.
It has
and
changed.
You're right there.
Yeah, it has changed. You know, it's changed to social media right now. It's changed to the little device that's in your hand. But it also, I still think that one of the things that really connect, like for instance, you know, I could be doing this interview with you via Zoom right now.
Right.
But the energy is different because we're in person. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And I still think that carries a lot of weight compared to you just being over a Zoom.
Yeah.
Of course, a Zoom is you know, more convenient.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
cheaper.
I hate it though.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just said as a media person, you're like, I hate it.
Yeah.
So what if you're that person who really decide that you're just going to go out there and go hit the road and hit people and say, okay, we're going to rock this.
Yeah.
You know, think about the traction you'll probably get by doing that, right? Instead of being it being as impersonal as, okay, I'm just going to be on a Zoom. You
you're
know?
right.
So some of them you have to, because, you know, they're on other continents and it wears on your body after
Right,
a while.
no,
But
you're right.
But for the most part, as much of that as you can do to really create connections and get in with people is good.
And if we didn't even have that Zoom, I wouldn't be able to tell you in person, like, I'm here more
Absolutely.
because of you, my boy.
Absolutely.
You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Thank you.
So let's talk about your guilty pleasure song. Now, within our fans, we love hearing what certain artists are listening to, but it's a guilty pleasure. So I want your friends,
Songs,
your family.
songs that you wouldn't think I'd be listening to. I'd be like,
Yes.
But like,
What are you bumping?
there's a lot of records out there, but I don't think it's a guilty pleasure. I like Billie Eilish.
Okay, fire.
But I also listen to Dido, which I think is very similar to Billie Eilish. You know, I was a big Dido fan also. You know what I mean? So it's not, what would be a guilty, like,
Needs to be like Power Rangers theme song, like something like, you know what I mean?
now I think some of the, I said some of them trifling music.
Which one was that? Which one? Sexy Red? Get it sexy.
Yeah, some Sexy Red
Get
or
it
something like
sexy.
that. Yeah, some of them things is catchy, man. You know,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was like, oh my God, this is ratchet as hell, but I'm in it. You know what I mean? That'd be some of that, you know, because the good thing about those songs, they're great party songs.
They are.
Because, you know, when the chicks, everybody in a party, they just want to drink, get drunk, and get ratchet. And it's not, I'm going to sit down and be like, I got to listen to Kendrick Lamar and get some really deep depth while I'm sipping this Hennessy.
Yeah.
like nobody's going to do that, you know what I mean?
It's true.
So they're artists with different things, you know what I mean? Some artists just have that vibe where it's vibe music, you know what I mean? You in a mood, you know, it's not for you to go any deeper than that, you know? And that's cool, we need that too, you know what I mean? Different types of artists.
I have a really viral bit, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's all good.
Am I breaking
I have a viral bit called Shaggy Does Unsexy Things Sexy. All right?
Oh,
so
Jesus.
what I have for you is, what is this?
Is this a card? Right?
Turn it around, maybe? Yeah.
Oh, a Pokemon card. It's a Pokemon card. Okay.
So this bit is read anything on the card and make unsexy things sexy. If anyone's gonna do it, it's gonna be my boy Shaggy, man.
Okay. If I could see the shit. You know, my vision ain't the same. Old people shit. Yeah? What's it gonna says?
Leaf munch. Yeah. Cater pie, you know that. You know it's $50. Lover. We make it. You know what they call this? Pokemon. But we not poking no man.
Yo, hold on, man. Hey, that's exactly how you do it.
If it's you, it's you. You're good.
He said
But not
Pokemon.
me.
He said, what, Pokemon? We're not poking no man.
We're not poking no man. But if you want to, pause.
Yo, that was so fun to talk to Shaggy. Honestly, I'm having so much fun here at the Sobeys Stadium. If you're watching his show tonight, I'm jealous. I'm gonna be back. Thank you, Shaggy. And follow Much for everything. And we're gonna be back. Talk to you guys soon. Much love.